Dear students, I am Dr. Vibhu Trivedi, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering, Meerut Institute of Engineering and Technology. And the topic of this video lecture is utilization and applications of geothermal energy. So, geothermal energy can be utilized in many ways, either directly or via electricity generation. So, let's see one by one all the methods of utilization of geothermal energy. So first is direct use. So direct use of hot water from geothermal resources can be used to provide heat for industrial processes, drying, or heating the buildings. In this method, the hot fluid is pumped directly into a building's hot water based heating system under sidewalks or into pools. The systems used for this purpose are called geothermal heat pumps. GHPs uh, provide both heating and cooling solutions. To supply heat, the system pulls heat from the earth through the loop and distributes it through a conventional duct system. For cooling, the process is reversed. The system extracts heat from the building and moves it back into the earth loop. It can also direct the heat to a hot water tank and provide free hot water. GHPs or geothermal heat pumps reduce electricity use 30 to 60% compared with traditional heating and cooling systems because the electricity which powers them is used only to collect, concentrate, and deliver heat, not to produce it. यानी अगर डायरेक्टली यूज करना हो जियोथर्मल एनर्जी को इन द फॉर्म ऑफ हॉट वाटर, तो जो सिस्टम्स यूज किए जाते हैं उन्हें हम कहते हैं जियोथर्मल हीट पंप्स. एंड जियोथर्मल हीट पंप्स हमें दोनों ही फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल करवाते हैं, आइदर हीटिंग और कूलिंग. सो फॉर हीटिंग द सिस्टम provides the heat of the earth to the buildings, and in cooling it extracts heat from the buildings and re-inject it to the earth. And use of geothermal heat pumps also reduces our use of conventional electricity by 30 to 60%. So after this direct use, the next and more complex utilization of geothermal energy is the electricity generation. So for electricity generation, different types of commercial geothermal plants have been developed over the years, and these are basically of three main types. So let's see what are these. First is dry steam power plants, second are flash steam power plants, and third are binary cycle power plants. So obviously dry steam power plants are used where vapor dominated systems are found. So these were the first type of geothermal power plants to be built. The technology was first used at Lardrello, Italy in 1904, and it is still very effective for generating electricity. The plant uses steam that is accessed by drilling directly into the underground source. The steam is piped through a turbine and generator unit and then condensed back into water and injected back into the subsurface reservoir. This helps to extend the life of the system. Steam technology is used today at the geysers in North California, USA, which is the world's largest single source of geothermal power. And the emissions from this type of plants consist of excess steam and very small amounts of sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon dioxide. Because there is no combustion taking place, the levels of these gases are much lower as compared to fossil fuel based power plants. So we can also see in this figure that the principle of this type of power plants are very simple. Just steam which is extracted from the earth's surface is used to run the turbine, which creates or generates electricity, and the condensed water is re-injected into the earth, which replenishes the groundwater and keeps this whole system of geothermal energy formation and extraction in work. So the only difference between such type of plants and fossil fuel power plants is that their steam is generated by using a fossil fuel, either coal or petroleum, etc. But here steam is directly procured from the depths of the earth. So it is very less polluting as compared to our conventional fossil fuel based power plants. Now, next type of plant is flash steam power plants. So these are basically used where liquid dominated reservoirs are found. In these power plants, hydrothermal fluid at temperatures greater than 360 degrees Celsius is pushed to the surface by the high pressure in the subsurface reservoir. As this very hot fluid reaches the surface, it enters the separator where the pressure drops instantaneously and most of the liquid flashes into steam. The force generated by the steam is used to drive turbines and produce electricity. The fluid not flashed into steam leaves the separator and rejoins the water from the condenser. The fluid is then injected back into the earth so that process can be renewed over and over again. So here the only difference from mm, dry steam plant is that the fluid that comes from the earth is in the form of very hot water at high pressure, and when it comes to the surface it flashes and gives a mixture of steam and hot water. So steam is actually used in turbines to generate electricity, and the remaining water is mixed with the water coming to the condenser and then re-injected to the earth so that this system keeps going. Next type of plant is binary cycle power plants. So these are different from dry steam or flash steam power plants in that the hydrothermal fluid from the subsurface reservoir never comes into contact with the turbine or generator units. In this two-step process, hydrothermal fluid that is not quite hot enough to be used in a flash steam plant is fed into a heat exchanger. Here, heat is transferred from the hydrothermal fluid to a working liquid with a lower boiling point than water. Usually, isobutane or isopentane is used. The working liquid turns into an energized vapor, much like the steam in the flash power plant, and turns the turbine or generator unit, producing electricity. The hydrothermal fluid and the working fluid are both contained in closed loops and never come in contact with each other. The vapor from the working liquid is condensed and the hydrothermal fluid is returned to the earth. This cycle can be repeated as quickly as the earth can reheat the fluid. Because warm hydrothermal fluid is a more widespread resource than hot fluid or pressurized brines. Binary systems have the potential to make a significant contribution to the overall production of geothermally generated electricity. So, such geothermal resources where the fluid has lower temperatures, such as hot water fields, water is not directly used to run the turbine. Instead, a working fluid which has the lower boiling point than water is used, and these are usually isobutane or isopentane. So our water, which is extracted from the ground, gives heat to this fluid, which converts into vapor and runs the turbine to generate electricity. This uh, isopentane or isobutane is named as working fluid because it comes directly in contact with turbine. So this fluid is condensed after using it in turbine and used again and again in the cycle. But the hydrothermal fluid or our water which is received from the earth is re-injected into the earth, as was the case in dry steam or liquid dominated power plant or flash steam power plants. So these are three main types of geothermal power plants. Now a fourth case can also be possible where a hybrid flash and binary cycle power plant is used, in that both flash steam cy- it has both characteristics of both the flash steam power plant and binary cycle power plant. So temperature so fluid at high temperature which converts into steam is directly used in flash type power plant, and the water which has a relatively low temperature is used in a binary cycle power plant. But the three cases given here are the most popularly used plants. So let's now discuss some advantages and disadvantages of geothermal energy. The advantages are geothermal energy is versatile in its use. That means it can be used directly or for electricity generation, etc. It is cheaper compared to the energies obtained from other sources. Geothermal energy delivers greater amount of net energy from its system than other alternative or conventional systems. Geothermal power plants have the highest annual load factors of 85% to 90% as compared to 40 to 50% for fossil fuel plants. Geothermal energy is the least polluting compared to other conventional energy resources. The greatest attraction of geothermal energy is its amenability for multiple uses from a single resource. Geothermal energy is the renewable resource that has practically no intermittency, has the highest energy density, and is economically not far removed from conventional technology. So it is the main highlight of geothermal energy that it has no intermittency. Intermittency means uh, lack of availability at all times, such as the case of solar energy, which is available remains available in daytimes or in summers, but is less available in less quantities during bad weather, and also not present in night. Similar is the case for winds. It is not very predictable that winds will move at required speeds, but geothermal energy has no such problem, and it can be uh, found without any interruption at all times. So let's see what are the disadvantages. Number one, overall efficiency for power production is low, about 15% compared to 30 to 5 to 40% for fossil fuel plants. The withdrawal of large amounts of steam or water from a thermal reservoir may result in surface subsidence. Surface subsidence means the sinking of Earth's surface due to excess extraction of groundwater or um, uh, steam. So this can cause the collapse of buildings or structure made on that land. Third is steam and hot water gushing out of the earth may contain hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, ammonia, and radon gases, etc. If these gases are vented into the air, air pollution will be a real hazard. These gases must be removed by chemical action before they are discharged. So this is the disadvantage. Drilling operation is noisy. Large areas are needed for exploitation of geothermal energy as much of it is diffused. So these are the disadvantages. Now let's see some applications of geothermal energy. So we know that we can categorize the applications of geothermal energy in three types. First is obviously the generation of electric power. Second is use in the industrial process heat, and third is space heating for various kind of non-commercial or residential buildings, etc. So high grade heat is used to for manufacturing electricity, and low grade heat, which is in the form of hot water, etc., is used for space heating and other industrial applications. And this mode of direct use is right now more effective in terms of consumption, because the total installed capacity of the geothermal power is only few megawatts compared to non-electrical consumption. The non-electrical uses of geothermal energy are about 50% of that exploited for the better known electrical use. The electrical conversion efficiencies of the order of 10 to 12%. So what are the low enthalpy geothermal fluids, or the what are the applications of low enthalpy geothermal fluids? These are following. Number one is balneology. So it is basically a study of hot water springs for medicinal purposes. So it is a very ancient art, and it is or an ancient branch of study, medicinal study, and it is in practice for hundreds of years. Next is use of this water, hot water in agriculture or aquaculture, for climate control and several industrial applications. So in industrial applications, it can be used for heat exchange in various processes. So these were the types of plants of uh, geothermal energy and its advantages, disadvantages, and applications. Thank you.